Hello and welcome to my LEGO Lord of the Rings Bag and MOC talk-through video. This will be a more casual video of me just talking about my process.
And we'll start here in the front, where the entrance to Bag End is and the path. So yeah, starting here, the main thing I wanted, Gandalf's cart, and Gandalf of course could ride through and that it was wide enough. And then I wanted the path leading up to a hobbit hole door, and a bench and a flower bed here, and then also the fence that goes from one side to the other with the door at the end. This side of the hill wasn't really necessary, but I wanted to fill up the base plate because this is 2 base plates in total, so I wanted to fill it up and not just make it one big path. One of the harder things for sure was this door. That door was super complicated to build, and I went through probably like 10 versions trying to figure out how does it fit with the roof and how does it lead up with the path and is it round enough. It was quite annoying. The windows though, they were actually quite easy, and then I actually went through 2 versions of this entire front section because I first had the door lower down, but I didn't like that. It just didn't look like a hobbit hole. So with this one I just kind of like sloped it straight up and then had a little bit of a level spot where the door was and then sloped it back up again. Now, as many of you probably saw, this roof is quite plain. That's because I actually didn't have enough of these green pieces to fill it up, and this is basically the extent of all my green that I have. So I just tried with what I could, and it looks a little bit plain. I would have liked to add a tree, but I also ran out of brown a bit, and then I have no more leaves really. So yeah, the roof is pretty plain, but that wasn't the main focus. And then looking inside of the Bag End, if I split them up, you can see, let me zoom in a bit, that the door is actually a lot higher than the ground floor. Because if I bring this in, the door is like 2 bricks and a plate higher, quite tall. So I had to make some sort of adjustments for the steps going down into the main living space. And that was kind of annoying because I didn't want the door so tall, but because how it is on the outside, I needed it to be like that because I wanted it to raise up and lead to there. And then for this section, I could have made it all a few bricks tall, but I opted for just delete steps down into it because I don't have enough bricks to make that another layer taller. Now, the one annoying thing that the door created for problems because of its height is the roof. Because if I don't know how well you can see it, but that door is actually just as tall as the roof, so it kept on hitting the roof. So I couldn't get that rounded, I had to do a flat. I wanted a round like I have here, but I had to use a flat piece because the rounded was just too tall. The path here was also an interesting thing I had to design because if you look in the movies and even at the Hobbiton set, it kind of more curves into it and has stones that go angled, and it doesn't just go stone to stone all the way there. So I wasn't really sure what to do, but I thought to maybe capture those individual stones, I just put a lot of 1x1s and maybe like I have one of those big ones there. But especially 1x1s represent small stones and then it feels like it's more like a path. So these windows were also kind of interesting. How I worked with them, it's also with the bars. I put the stud with a hole in the middle, and I stick that in there. And then on this side, to attach it to the wall, I have this 1x2 with the curve and the hole in the middle. And that can just go on there, like so, on both sides, and then just sticks onto that. So now it's, studs on both sides, which is nice for reversing sides. Using the bars really help. And then to make it the 3-plate height, I just use these I put candles there, so it kind of cover it up. So there were a few main things I wanted of the interior. A kitchen, a pantry, Bilbo study, and a sort of dining hall room thing where people could just relax. So I first had the kitchen actually on this side, and pantry over there, and Bilbo study over there, but I just did not like that. I thought the study should be on that side and the kitchen the first thing you kind of see. So let's look at all the rooms separately for now. So this is Bilbo's study, as you can imagine, and a lot of the things were taken from Rivendell. The chair, the book, the desk idea, and in the back, the 2 maps. then I added like a couple candles, the window over here, and a few other things. I find it looks quite good, though maybe a bit small. And there's a window on this side, don't forget, where the wall is on the other side. So when you come in, you go down the stairs, and there's a coat rack there where you can hang up your hobbit coats. And then on this side, there's the kitchen. So the kitchen, like I said earlier, round on both sides and short, so Gandalf probably finds that annoying. And then there's a little table and chairs here, a little basket with brooms inside, and on this side is the actual kitchen. Let me quickly break this off. So over here, there's a little furnace there with a smokestack that actually doesn't end, because now that I'm thinking, I didn't add a smokestack on the roof of the hobbit hole. So that's an inconsistency I didn't think of before. And over here, there's like a candle. You could attach more things on there. And then there's like a few places where you can cook up your meals and whatever. And now moving to every hobbit's favorite spot, the pantry. So in here, there's a tap with ale, where Sam would be, of course. And then here, there's a box of cherries, another box with nothing actually in it. And then I don't really have too much food, actually. Like, I think actually the medieval blacksmith has some, but I didn't care to steal from it. So then I just have some breads, a pretzel, carrot, meat, and old pizzas, whatever. Not too much. And there's like a candle on either side. It's actually not a well-stocked pantry, but maybe some dwarves just came for a visit, and they depleted all of Bilbo's stocks. And this is the more open room of the hobbit hole with a fireplace, a couple chairs, a little table, and a sitting spot right there with a painting, actually that's from Harry Potter, and another one of those candle things. And on this side, I thought I had these brown pieces from my Rohan MOC, and I wasn't sure what to do with them. I'm like, hey, that works pretty good for some cups. So it's kind of like a display thing in the hobbit hole, which is kind of funny. And there's a little window over there. But yeah, not too much on this side. The main thing is just space where some hobbits can sit down and relax. And then overall, you've probably noticed this checkered pattern with the gray 2x2s and the tan 2x2s. And I thought that'd be kind of nice to break up the floor. It makes it look a little like just cozy and like a hobbit hole, and a little bit more fancy than just a plain floored hobbit hole. So I thought that was kind of a nice addition. And I didn't have to worry about that in the kitchen nor the pantry. Another thing to mention actually on the front of the hobbit hole is that this door, in case of what the door outline, is actually made the same way as the windows, which literally just two of those 1x6 arch pieces, and then a bar in the middle of it, and two 1x1 studs with holes through, flats on one side, studs on the other side, and that just fits right in there. I wish I had actually 1x6 curved arch pieces that were the same color, but those were the only two I could find, so that's how I had to leave it. And last, but certainly not least, is Gandalf's card. I don't have the original 2012 one, which kind of sucks, so I thought I should just make my own. So this is kind of what I made up. It looks quite similar, I'd say, to the one from 2012, where it has like the double wheels, the one horse, same similar type of idea with the, even on the sides here, how they stick out like that. And then I made my own makeshift rockets, or whatever you call them, fireworks, in a little barrel. And then if you take Gandalf's rope piece, well, the other half that came in Rivendell, you can stick them on there. And then take Gandalf's main body on there, so you don't need the flexible legs, and then this rope piece can just go somewhere else. And that looks pretty good, I'd say. It makes it look like he's sitting on there. And that draws us to the end of this video. Thank you for watching my video on my Lord of the Rings Hobbit Hole MOC. It was quite fun to make, and I hope you liked this talk-through video. See you in the next one.